Coming up on episode 8 of This Week in Video Games, it's part 2 of my Konami walkthrough. Plus, Michael has the top 5 most successful PC games of the decade, and we've got another bonus point segment.
And welcome to This Week in Video Games number 8. I, Michael Ludden, am here in lovely Santa Monica with my radiant co-host, Andrea Renee.
Well, you know.
I was told recently by someone who shall remain anonymous that I was lucky to be sitting 3 feet from Andrea, one of our fans online. And to that I say, more like 2.5 feet.
We are very close. We can high five.
Woo!
Yes.
Good times. Brett Favre's back.
Yes, my Vikings. I'm so excited.
But
everyone said that he wasn't coming back, but he is. But this is a Sports Center.
I should not have said anything. This is not a sport, so we are going to do a showdown with a live gamer right now. We got PC Nerd. Yes, we have PC Nerd on Xbox 360, and you know what? This is going to be more of a co-op showdown. Actually, Andrea's going to be playing Worms versus this fellow, Jeremy, aka PC Nerd 37, kind enough to lend his services. We're testing out the Xbox Live microphone right now.
Awesome. No, this is so cool.
And let's get right into the game.
Heck yeah, we've been trying to do this now for a couple of weeks, you guys, and finally we have it all set up.
Yeah, so we're gonna choose him in a little avatar, neither of which really looks like Andrea, but that's okay. Red optic. Maybe you would like that, look like that.
I like those glasses.
There you go. Okay, Worms 2 Armageddon.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you know that I've never played this game, so Michael's gonna coach me.
Yeah, I've only played it a few times, and I do know the general mechanic, but I'm expecting PC Nerd to wipe the floor with us because...
It's probably not gonna help me at all. In fact, I think you're probably going to crush me, like per usual, as you so eloquently pointed out in the chat room earlier.
Can we hear him? Can we hear PC Nerd on that?
No, I played a couple of practice rounds before this, so... And if those are any indication, I'm not going to do very well tonight.
Oh,
no,
great.
Now it's
okay,
where
so
the rubber meets the road.
So tell me what to do,
so
Michael.
You control these worms. Just then you can pick one. There you go. Okay, it's about to start.
So how do I play?
So you pick a worm and you move them forward and then you shoot stuff. That's the essential mechanic. It's a strategy game in 2D. You can move them forward a certain amount and then you can aim and shoot. If you move far enough, you're not going to get the opportunity to. So move your guys.
How do I move them?
Oh no, it's his turn. It's his
okay.
Turn. So it says now it's your turn. No, whoever's blinking is the turn.
That's yeah. It's
whose it is.
It's PC Nerd's turn.
This is our business.
So how do I move them?
I think you center the screen on them and you press A.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you aim.
Got it.
You just. Oh, cool. Just launch a grenade. And now you got to get that thing off so you can get over it. You got to destroy it, explode it.
Okay, got it.
So PC Nerd, do you know what you're doing?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
He said he's been playing this game his whole life.
Really? Wow. Maybe he should be giving you the close to it. I do love me some nerds. It reminds
Michael,
me of that
where should
old...
I shoot?
You need to shoot him immediately. Just aim up so that, yeah, it's got an arc to it. You almost got him. Good work.
Damn.
They usually have arcs to them, but there are a bunch of different weapons. Why does it say Michael on the bottom?
Otherwise, that would have been perfect.
Oh, you named all the characters after us. That's fantastic. Lon, Kenny, nice. So we're on the bad team. Who are the people on your team? Mary, Kel. What's going on there? Yeah, Lon, you're surrounded.
This is pretty funny. Oh no! Watch out, Kenny!
So try to get that little middle swath so that the thing will fall down.
Got it.
Or at least so that you'll have a path. It might just hang up there.
Yes, sir.
They have annoyingly cute voices. Sometimes. This reminds me of that old.
Oh no!
This reminds me of that
shot it
old
backwards.
that old DOS game.
Your senses aren't that attuned, youngling.
Does he know what that is? I forget what it's called.
Yes, there's wind. I forgot about the wind.
Oh, the wind factor. Yeah.
Yes, master.
I'm pulling up information on my computadore. They make me use a Mac. It really kind of hurts a little bit.
No, not Lon! Watch out!
Twice as powerful since last we met.
Oh no, you barely made it.
Wow, Lana's still alive. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Okay, Worms 2 Armageddon came out July 1st of last year.
Okay.
It's available on
What's
Xbox Live for 800 points. An expanded version called Worms Reloaded will be released for the PC on August 26th of this year and for Mac OS X. So it's a sequel to the original Worms, which I actually played on Xbox Live. It gives you several new features and modes.
Oh, that backfired, literally.
Returning weapons in an all-new single-player campaign mode.
Lon,
With
I didn't
35
kill
missions.
you.
What do you sense, Master? Yes, Master.
Kill somebody. Somebody die.
We did. Lon died.
Okay.
I mean,
Good.
we didn't want to kill him because he's on my team.
That's
but
important. So, oh, he's switching weapons? Is that what you're doing?
come on, Gamer Core. I just said it's my first time playing.
Oh!
Oh no! Watch out!
He will bring balance to the order.
Okay, so we're just gonna play till
Okay.
25.
Look, a crate drop. What does that mean? I need
Means
to
you
go
can
get
get supplies, yeah, but you're not near there, are you?
Great will give you extra.
How do I get out of here?
Just have no mercy, PC nerd. Just kill
know.
us. Just
Thanks.
destroy us.
Thanks.
Well, we're on the same team. We'll both get destroyed. We'll have to share the hat of shame. That way I get to wear it. Really?
I was stuck. I was stuck. I had to free
All right,
myself.
all right.
My bar is slowly dwindling, or fastly.
You gotta get that bar going. I like that the backgrounds
What
are
you
just
sense?
like
This is our
squishy,
business.
moving around. It's exciting.
All right.
Hey, GamerCore in the chat room, instead of making fun of Andrea, help us out. We need help. Help us.
Thanks, Lon. No, don't shoot me. How do you teleport?
Yeah, I think we're gonna enact the mercy rule here, ladies and gentlemen, and just say that PC Nerd wins by
Patience. Think.
awesomeness and just being way better than us. So let's have this be your last turn and see if you can save some face, Andrea.
Okay.
And we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay, let's see if there's somebody I can shoot. I don't think there is anyone I can shoot.
Oh, this was doomed to be like this from the beginning.
Oh.
Shoot something. Oh.
That
Yay.
worked out fantastic.
Okay. That is that. Congratulations on being able to move the characters around here. I'll wear it
Well-
first, just to help out with the
Because
shame
Michael
factor.
and I played co-op today, he was my coach. We're gonna take turns wearing the hat of shame. Because
my
PC
goodness.
Nerd definitely crucified both of us. Well,
Well,
mainly me because I was holding the controls.
if you
so
wanna-
I will take the brunt.
Yeah.
I will take the brunt of the fall.
Yeah, you'll be wearing this most of the show. It's cool.
But-
you look good in it now. You're learning to rock it.
But
It's great.
now our viewers can get a taste of what it looks like on you because you'll be wearing it soon.
Wow.
I'm vowing.
You're using. Okay, you know what? I'm not. Whatever. You're talking smack when I'm offering to wear it first.
Okay, you're right. No more smack talking. We're friends.
Okay, yes. Co-op. We got to play another co-op one where we
All right.
both actually play. Anyway.
Andrew
so,
Renee, signing off.
if you want to play us live, we want to play you live. So definitely shoot us a tweet or an email or talk to us on Facebook. We got all that stuff. Twitter, TWI at videogames.com, videogames at thisweekend.com, etc., etc. First top story of the day. Xbox Live platform is coming to Windows 7. Yeah, there it is. That's exciting. So this week, Microsoft showed off its Xbox Live integration for upcoming mobile phone platform Windows Phone 7 in detail for the first time. It looks like Microsoft is launching with over 60 titles, more coming every single week, just like its big brother Xbox Live on the 360. The games include heavy hitters like Castlevania, Halo,
Awesome.
Halo Waypoint, Star Wars, Crackdown, and Guitar Hero. That should get you pretty excited.
Heck yeah. I don't know. Crackdown on there could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that if they didn't show it already, they're going to show a little bit of the footage of Guitar Hero, and it doesn't actually look that good, but maybe it will be better. One downer is actually lack of online co-op play, or competitive play. You can't multiplayer game at all
That's
online.
kind of ironic considering it's a mobile device.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Engadget, who did this preview, and it was an exclusive, I think they paid a lot of money because they're still talking about it on their site like 5 days later. They came away glowing about the quality of the games. and they were able to demo the new LG handset that's sporting it. And also there's extensive avatar integration, including fully rendered avatars from your Xbox Live account, and you can customize them, and it's apparently very feature-rich.
Wow.
That's pretty exciting.
That is kind of exciting.
And very quickly, before we move on to Andrea's news story, I wanted to also throw in a story about the PSP phone. Yes, it's true, there is also a PlayStation phone coming. Purportedly, it's a Sony Ericsson phone, and it's going to run Android 3.0. Kind of liking this hat. I wouldn't mind wearing this. If,
It looks good on you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So it's going to run Android 3.0, and it's going to be on. Apparently, can we show the website? There's a mock-up of it on Engadget. This is also an Engadget story, and it looks like the PSP Go, the mock-up. It's a terrible mock-up, but apparently they said they have a guy on the inside. This is the quote from them. We know via a trusted source that the company is actively and heavily developing a brand new gaming platform, ecosystem, and device, possibly alongside Google, and they're already in the late stages of that. Yeah, there's an older prototype of it. If you're a gaming fan, this is exactly the type of phone you've been waiting for. It's described as a slider with the controls in place, somewhat between the new Samsung Captivate and the PSP Go. In other words, it's got a full QWERTY keyboard, it's got a D-pad, along with standard PSP controls and buttons. And I guess they have something like a long touchpad for analog controls. Between 3.7 and 4.1 inch screen. It's got a large display and 1 gigahertz Snapdragon CPU. Phone is, well, I don't care about the color. Apparently it's a branded...
I care about the color.
Do you? It's black.
Yeah, you know, girls, that's why they market colors. It's for women like me who are like, oh, it's pink.
It's very exciting. It's black. So there you go.
Oh, bummer.
And it's going to have the PlayStation branding. So what do you think about these two phones? The Xbox Live integration with the Windows Phone 7 and the PSP phone?
I think that it's about time that they've done this. Yeah. I know that they've had handheld gaming devices for quite some time now. Obviously, we all remember the original Game Boy, and everyone is on their phone constantly. People don't even leave the house without their phone. You leave, you feel like you're missing your second arm or your third arm or whatever. So it's only a matter of time before they really kind of step up, the game capabilities of mobile devices.
Yeah. Nuno Maya 2 says the rumor's as old as the PSP 1, but this is like confirmation, actually. If there's a newer story on Engadget than the one we showed you there, where they actually have a mock-up, because apparently it straight up is happening. What do you think about the fact that Sony's going with Android 3.0? They're going to have a huge launch with that, creating an entire games ecosystem, and Microsoft is going with their own Windows Phone 7. I think that's pretty smart for PlayStation, actually.
I think that Sony needs to do that in order to stay competitive.
Yeah.
I think that it's not only is it smart, but it's like sink or swim. You know what I mean? Like if they want to stay competitive in the mobile gaming market, I mean, obviously they have the PSP, but let's be honest. I mean, the PSP just never took off the way that the DS did. Yeah, and Nintendo's basically said, listen, we don't need to make a mobile phone integration game device because we have the best handheld gaming device available.
It's true. So, without further ado, I'm going to switch this right over to you.
I will take my turn. I will take my turn wearing my hat. Hold on here. Let's get this.
Okay.
Let's get this guy going.
Sorry,
right.
I know you.
My good old friends. It's been so long, or it hasn't. All right, moving on to some more video game news, you guys. My next story: Blizzard. You know them. They just put out StarCraft 2. Wins $88.5 million in a World of Warcraft lawsuit. This is some footage from World of Warcraft, which you probably all have played. Don't lie to yourself or us.
I'm not lying.
As of May 2009, Blizzard Entertainment was earning over $100 million per month on overall game sales and subscription fees from World of Warcraft.
Ridiculous.
And last week, in Irvine, California, that's where the developer is based, they won another settlement of the legal variety. They won a copyright infringement lawsuit against PC game site Scape Gaming. Now, what Scape Gaming was doing is they were holding a private World of Warcraft server that wasn't legitimately owned and operated by Blizzard. And of course, they got found out, as people who try to scam the gaming world always do, and Allison Reeves, the owner of Scape Gaming, now must pay Blizzard, who's already insanely rich off of their amazing games, $3 million in disgorged profits, $85 million in statutory damages, and $63,000 just in attorney's fees.
That sounds ridiculous.
And if that wasn't bad enough, she has to pay interest on the outstanding balance until the fines are paid off.
Wow.
Can you imagine if you were just a private owner of a website and all of a sudden a giant like Blizzard comes along and is like, hey, what are you doing over there? I don't like what you're doing. I'm going to sue you. $88 million, please.
Well, you know, Blizzard needs this money. You know, they're suffering. They're hemorrhaging money.
This all comes just 3 weeks after StarCraft II Wings of Liberty, the fastest-selling strategy game of all time, came out. And of course, you know, they have their third expansion for World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, coming out later on this year.
I will probably end up playing.
Lucky for them, they're in the money, I guess.
Between lawsuits and selling games, you know.
Exactly.
They're good.
So good for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, my next story is kind of a controversial one. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about this Medal of Honor controversy that's happening, but there was a clip on Fox News where a woman, a mother actually, of an armed forces veteran who lost his life in combat, came on and shared her thoughts about the new upcoming Medal of Honor, where you are allowed to play in the Afghani conflict as the Taliban. So we're going to run this clip from Fox News really quick so you guys can take a look at what she's talking about.
It's a good clip.
Not the clip, so I'm going to wait until they get the clip up and ready to go. Whenever they do, I'll just go ahead and say play it, and I'll stop talking. But basically what I'll do is I'll just read some of the... Okay, so the clip doesn't work, I guess. So I'm just going to read some of her quotes to you then, since I do have them here.
Nice. Way to be prepared.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Her name is Catherine Meredith, and she says, "War is not a game, period. The fact that they've already done games about World War II, that's far removed from our current history. People aren't dying in World War II anymore. Right now, we're going into a really, really bad time in Afghanistan. We've just come off the worst month of casualties in the whole war. This game is going to be released in October, so families that are burying their children are going to see this. It's disrespectful. My son didn't get to start over when he was killed. His life was over, and I have to deal with that every day. There's 1,200 families from Afghanistan that have to live with this every day." Now, Michael, what do you think about what she said?
So I have a friend who did 3 tours in Iraq, and he was a Marine, and he just got out. And I think this is... All he did was play war games. Like, he played Modern Warfare 2 while he was in Iraq, like Modern Combat, while he was in Iraq, a game that evokes a lot of that stuff. And it really helped him. It was a real balm to, like... balm, B-A-L-M, to what otherwise sucked as an experience. And he did way too many tours, and they extended one of his tours as well. And he loves war games. I'm sure he would love the ability to play as the Taliban as well, because I see what she's saying, that it's disrespectful, but I think that him and a lot of other people in the armed services, in the armed forces, play games and they like the realistic war games for some reason. It's somehow cathartic. You know, I don't know how it's cathartic. I could totally see how it could be disrespectful, but I know some people who have been on the inside who play these games, and it really helps them. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with playing as the Taliban. I mean, when you're playing cops and robbers, I think you said this to me earlier, right?
Yes, well, one of the EA spokesperson who responded to this controversy said that, you know, it's not intended to be any kind of disrespect. It's intended to be, you know, we all played cops and robbers as kids, and someone had to be the good guy and someone had to be the bad guy. And hence, in this conflict game about, you know, current modern warfare, someone has to be the good soldier and someone has to be the enemy soldier.
Just like every game, right? So right now we actually do have the Medal of Honor clip, so let's roll that.
Friends, a story we've been talking about all morning long. War turned into a game. We've seen video games like this for years, but the new version of EA's Medal of Honor is set in modern-day Afghanistan and allows players to play as the Taliban against the U.S. with the objective of gunning down American troops. Karen Meredith is a Gold Star mom and writing about this, and she's speaking out, and she joins us this morning. Karen, nice to see you.
Good morning.
So what is your problem with this game? How is this any different, as many would say, than kids playing cops and robbers? Somebody has to play the bad guy.
Well, war is not a game, period. And the fact that they've already done games about World War II, that's far removed from our current history, and people aren't dying in World War II anymore. That's far removed. The families, and it's not based on real people. Right now, we're going into a really, really bad time in Afghanistan. We've just come off of the worst month of casualties in the whole war, and this game is going to be released in October. So families who are bearing their children are going to be seeing this and playing this game. I just don't see that a video game based on a current war makes any sense at all. It's disrespectful.
Well, it's disrespectful, perhaps, but EA has a response, and they say, Electronic Arts, the makers of the game, they say Medal of Honor is set in today's war, putting players in the boots of today's soldiers. We give gamers the opportunity to play both sides. Most of us have been doing this since we were 7. If someone's the cop, someone's got to be the robber, as I just said, and someone's got to be the pirate, somebody's got to be the alien. In Medal of Honor multiplayer, someone has to be the bad guy. Someone has to be the Taliban in this game. Remember that it's a multiplayer game, so you have certain people playing against other people around the world, and these games are incredibly popular. What do you say to...
All right, so that's a little bit of the segment. If you want to watch more of the interview, you're going to have to look it up yourself online because we don't want to re-show the whole interview here. But it was interesting to me is that there's been games that have been developed and created about the conflicts in the past, like, for example, Konami's 6 Days in Fallujah. Now, they put a lot of prep into this game, and because of the public outcry about it, Konami didn't want anything to do with it. They were like, fine, we're just going to drop it all together. And what was interesting is there's a website out there called VD Charts, and they were one of the people covering the story, and they said, we're going to go out and actually talk to people in the armed forces about this game and see what they have to say. And I was actually very surprised by some of the responses from the soldiers.
Do tell.
Well, you said that your friends really liked playing these games in the military, and I actually have a lot of friends who are in the service and who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they said they also enjoy playing these games. But it seemed from the interviews that they did with these different members of different branches of the armed forces that it's kind of split. That some people are like, it is just a game, and it's not realistic, and it's not meant to be, and people are making too much of a fuss about something that doesn't even matter to that many people. And then you have other soldiers on the other side of the fence saying quotes like, for example, they make it seem like it's easy to make a quick buck off the backs of actual heroes without any care as to how we feel in the matter. Or it's like getting the giant middle finger to soldiers who are having a hard time overseas.
You know what? I'm pretty sure this is just a gamer, non-gamer split, really. People in the armed services who play games don't have a problem with this, and people who don't do. I think it's just the same argument as it is over here with Jack Trenton and all that stuff. All the people who hate games are going to hate this, and all the people who love games aren't going to have a problem with it, because this lady probably doesn't play games. If there was somebody there who's like, I love games, and I served in the military, and I hate this, then I'd be like, whoa, okay, maybe they shouldn't release it. But that's, look, she lost a loved one in the war, and that's, that's undeniable. But has she ever played games? Does she even know, what it's all about? Like, you're not really glorying in killing American soldiers when you are playing as a Taliban in this game. You're trying to win an online competitive match with friends, and it's all about teamwork and skill-based, getting that joy of winning a match. It's not at all about, like, desecrating the dead or cheapening their deaths in Iraq. So if somebody ever comes on whatever channel, CNN or Fox News or whatever, and they are actually a veteran, or they're a gamer who hates this idea, then you know what, I'll take that seriously. But if it's someone who doesn't game at all and doesn't have any familiarity with that world, then, whatever. Yeah,
you don't take their opinion seriously. And there's definitely something to be said about the fact that gamers and non-gamers have these opinions. I think really, though, what the issue that's kind of disconcerting is that it's been mentioned that they use these games in recruitment centers as a means to get these younger 17 and 18-year-olds to think, oh, maybe it's cool to be in the military. It's kind of this cool factor to play military games, and being in the military is kind of like being in a game. And I think some of the critics of these games about current conflicts think it's about kids who are playing these games that don't discern the difference between what's real and what's not.
So
They're trying to make it seem like war is a game, and these people that are parents of these soldiers want to make sure that they know that war is not a game, that people are losing their lives, and it's a serious thing to be considered.
Well, that's an entire other conversation, and we had a really interesting one beforehand. I think we got to move on in the rundown.
We do, definitely, but it's something to think about. Let us know if you guys have some interesting thoughts about this and you want to continue the discussion. Please either post your thoughts in the chat room or email us at videogames@thisweekin.com, or post something on our Facebook page. If you guys aren't fans on our Facebook page yet, This Week in Video Games, please become fans with us. We love to hear from you guys.
I'm a fan.
Good, me too.
Yeah. This just in, PC Nerd 37 just beat the level that we were on. Without us even there, it took him that long to beat the Worms game. We'll be sure to pick a more fast-paced game next time. That's crazy. Wow, but congratulations, PC Nerd 37. Your prize will be coming in the mail. It too is your bills. Next story, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light rocks. That is the story. This game just released for Xbox Live Arcade as part of the Summer of Live Arcade. Is it Summer of Live or Summer of Live Arcade?
Summer of Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yes, released as part of that. It was $15. Got a Metacritic score of nearly 90 out of 100.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, the game looks sweet. It's the first Lara Croft game not to sport the Tomb Raider in the title. Can you believe that? And it sports, as you can see, an isometric overhead view. Looks a bit RPG-like, but it's not an RPG. It's a shooter. Or it's like the other Lara Croft games. You gotta do acrobatics and run up and down stuff, but there's co-op play this time. So you play this really racist-looking interpretation of an Aztec guy or something, and he's your co-op partner. And apparently it's a lot of fun to play. You actually can't play online co-op yet, but you have to play offline. I don't know what's going on with Xbox and their online co-op stuff.
Maybe they're like, listen, we didn't spend that much money on this game, so it's $15. Enjoy it by yourself.
Yeah, it looks sweet. I want to get it. But the other thing is they're giving away the first DLC for this, the first DLC pack, away free because it doesn't have online co-op. So if you get this game now, for the next month, you can get the first DLC downloadable content pack for free. So go buy Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light for $15 on Xbox Live right now.
Heck yeah.
There it is.
I'm going to do it after the show.
Nice.
All right, our next story, Lost Planet 2 is heading to the PC this fall. We have some gameplay here from Lost Planet 2 that was originally released in May, but like many other games that come out on PS3 and Xbox 360 first, this is coming out a few months later, and they've actually...
I played that level. I played that exact level.
Oh, with this giant salamander?
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, well, what they did is they included some 3D vision support now for PC, and they also have support for DirectX 11 for new smoke and water effects. Ooh, very cool.
Hit the glowing stuff.
Yeah. It's a campaign that follows the protagonist and 3 non-player characters through 6 chapters, each of which features multiple outcomes that hinge on the player's actions.
Whoa.
So if you guys have played this on your console, good, now you can try it on your PC, and if you haven't tried it yet, you can pick up the PC game coming out this fall. Awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sweet.
Were you talking about the story? Because I was on Gazelle.com.
Oh, were you?
Trading some of my old electronics. If we could just bring up my screen here. Smooth, huh? No, I'm kidding.
It's very smooth. No, I liked it.
So if you could bring up my screen, I'm at Gazelle.com. We have a promotion code. This site is where you can trade your gadgets for cash. And if you put in TWI5, you get a 5% bonus on the final trade-in value of your items. The code applies to everything except media, movies, and games. So even though this is video games, don't trade in your games. Just trade in your old game systems. There you go.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of new great new consoles that are coming out, like the Kinect Xbox bundle.
Yes.
You know, and then if you haven't gotten, you know, the upgraded PS3 Slim, maybe you want to get rid of your old one. Or if you still have a PS2 like I do, you know, maybe you... Yeah, of course I do. How else am I supposed to play Frequency?
Why did they ever take out backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 3? Why?
I don't know. Because they were silly. They were like, we're obsessed with Blu-ray. Who cares about backwards compatibility?
Just come up with an emulator, Sony. It really wouldn't take you that much effort. Anyway, so yeah, apparently you can get up to $100 cash every time you trade in, or not up to $100, that's the average that you get when you trade in your gadgets to Gazelle.com. 100,000 people use Gazelle daily to rid themselves of unwanted gadgets. That was like a song, wasn't it? That was weird.
We should make a song for Gazelle.com.
Gazelle.com. Okay, I'm going to stick to my day job.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, so go to Gazelle.com and trade in your gadgets, promo code TWI5, and you will get a 5% bonus on the final trade-in value.
Awesome. But before you go to Gazelle, you have to finish watching the show because right now it's part 2 of my exclusive behind-the-scenes feature at Konami. I'm not going to say much more because I introduced most everything in the video. I'm just going to say sit back, enjoy this awesome featured segment.
Woo!
Hey everyone, it's Andrea Renee for This Week in Video Games. I'm back here at Konami's offices with Kenji, an associate producer here, to talk about Hardcore Uprising. So Kenji, tell me about this game for everyone who's not familiar with the original.
Yeah, this is a really old school type, the side-scrolling shooting, run and gun shooter. So this is a different franchise from the Contra, but heavily inspired the Contra hardcore. But maybe the most of the people knows about the Contra hardcore is a little bit different position in the franchise. But we are trying to recreate the new IP from that position. Yeah.
All right, well, so what is this game about? What is the storyline?
Oh, storyline. So the soldier called Bahamut, he's working for the empire in this world. But so someday, some certain mission, he's something find out. So probably I'm doing wrong thing. So I have to protect those kind of people. Yeah.
So you have a soldier who's protecting the people of an empire?
Yeah. Hey.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay and check it out. Hardcore Uprising follows the rules and structure of the classic old-school side-scrollers that we all grew up with. While he couldn't disclose how many levels we can expect to see, Kenji tells us that there are countless weapons and upgrades for you to pick up along the way in what he promises to be a full-length game. As you can see here, the game's arcade mode will feature co-op mode both offline and online, letting you play locally with your friends or people around the world. You'll get plenty of similarities to Konami's Contra series, which was the inspiration behind Hardcore Uprising. And you can see that some great features, such as health and weapon pickups, double jumps, and even the super attack, will be readily available for you throughout the game. Kenji, thank you so much for showing me Hardcore Uprising. When can all of my viewers expect to find this online?
This is available online and XBLA and PSN, and it's coming 2010 winter.
All right, fantastic. You heard it. Another late 2010 release. It's going to be a full lineup, so we're super excited to play this game. Thank you so much again. I'm Andrea Renee for This Week in Video Games, and you just had a behind-the-scenes look at Konami's Hardcore Uprising.
Yeah!
Awesome. No, we just had a comment in the chat room from GamerCore who said he had to have the controller peeled away from his hands. When Derek, my producer, and I were at Konami, and we were playing this, it's funny because the PR guy is, hey, we need the room back. And we're like, no, just one more level, come on.
How did they do that?
It was really fun.
Like, who was coming in? Bunch of
I don't know. They were having to have some kind
something?
of meeting or something. But we got to play, and it was really fun.
That's just to make you want it more. It's like I couldn't play as much as It's just to give you a little taste so that you want more.
It was a great. It definitely makes me want to download it like ASAP.
Totally. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Thank you for the two-part segment. That was fantastic. Next week, we have another interview. We're going to interview a pro gamer, and we got my good buddy Caton from God of War 3 coming on, so we're excited about that. But right now, I'm going to count down the top 5 most successful PC games. Yeah. Oh.
That's awesome.
The most successful. Keep that in mind before you crucify me in the chat room and via email. Please, the most successful games of 2010, or of the decade. Of the decade. It's not the best, it's the most successful. And please, if you disagree, shoot me an email, michael@thisweekend.com, or videogames@thisweekend.com, or tell us on the Twitter @TWIVideogames, whatever. Tell us if you disagree, but without further ado. Oh, no, I've got to give a shout out. Wow, I'm sorry. I've got to give a shout out because the top 5 most successful, the top 5 biggest gaming busts of the decade was recommended by Nick in Trent, England. He wanted us to give a shout out to Trent, England, and to Lon's Beard, our producer Lon. So, because I forgot to give him a shout out last time.
He does have a great beard, that
shout
Lon.
out. Yeah, he does have a great beard. I'm very jealous. My hair just comes in like this. It looks like I'm dirty. Just looks like I'm dirty. So, okay, the number 5 most successful game of the last decade is Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, that's right. It was originally a mod in 1999 for Half-Life. Yes, that's right, 1999, but it was released as its own official game in 2000, so it makes our list. And again in 2004 for Xbox, although it wasn't nearly as good. This game, I mean, it's a culture. It's a culture. It's famous for the culture surrounding it. It includes everything from professional gamers and leagues to excessive cheating and disruptive behavior. Every time I would go into a cafe, like everyone was playing this game, and I would try to get in, and they would just destroy me and, you know, teabag me all the time and stuff. If you don't know what teabagging is, I'm not going to tell you. But this game, it remains extremely popular right now. There are some, as we saw on one of our first episodes, actually, there's a professional league in Korea dedicated to it. There are several all over the world. People train like 10 hours a day to do this. There have been various LAN tournaments held throughout the world. Electronic Sporting World Cup, ESWC. The World Esports Games, WEG. And the World Cyber Games, WCG. So, Counter-Strike. Number 4, Diablo 2. So this game was released also in 2000. I'm sorry, these games are just, I don't know. For some reason, 2000 was a really good game for PC, really good year for PC gaming. It held the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest-selling PC game of all time. It sold over 1 million copies in its first 2 weeks of availability. I say held because we're going to get to that later in the countdown. It held the Guinness Book of World Records, and my brother was ridiculously addicted to this game. So I have a vivid memory of him not doing anything but playing it and getting angry when you try to like break him away from it. Yeah, this is the original OG trailer. I don't know if you guys remember this. This made me want the game so badly because back when it was released, it was like, these graphics are ridiculous. And now like regular games have better CG or better polygonal live gameplay than this trailer.
It's kind of crazy to think that this was 10 years ago.
I know, time flies, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now Diablo 3 is coming out. It's only 10 years in between releases. That's what I'm starting to say with Blizzard. It only took 10 years. Well, it's not out yet. I shouldn't say that.
Well, they have to go on vacations and spend their millions of dollars.
Yeah, it kind of reset the bar a little higher for online multiplayer. And actually, pretty sure this spawned World of Warcraft. After they did this, they're like, hey, let's switch to another one. Because actually, the original RTS, little known fact, was Warcraft. And that's actually next on our list. Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos. It was released in 2003, and it was yet another successful Blizzard game, and the next game to break Diablo 2's sales record. So it then held the Guinness Book of World Records for a little bit for the fastest PC game. It's a real-time strategy game, like Warcraft 2 and the original Warcraft, which started Blizzard's whole thing. Yes, it was Warcraft that started Blizzard's whole thing, and then Warcraft 2 before StarCraft ever came out to kind of take it to the next level. And it actually featured some really cool innovations, one of which was having a hero that you could level up in the middle of your maps. And it had this crazy map editor. And people don't know this. This is what started the tower defense wars genre of games.
Which is one of my favorite genres.
Yeah. I would still, up until like at least a year and a half ago, I would still go on Warcraft 3 and play various TD games, tower defense wars. Ah, good times. And then now StarCraft 3, I'm sure the map editor, actually we're going to get into that later. Map editor on StarCraft 3 is ridiculous. You can create completely different games. It's crazy. It's crazy. Are we at number 2 already? We are.
Yeah.
The Sims. The Sims is number 2. Yes, I know a lot of people are going to come email me and tell me that The Sims should be number 1, but it is number 2, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. It is the best-selling game in PC history. By 2005, it had sold over 16 million units. That was 5 years ago, so with all of the 7 sequels, actually I think it had 7 expansions, and it's had a lot more sequels and, you know, like all sorts of different versions of the game since then.
I really liked SimCity and SimFarm.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason.
SimCity came before.
Yes, I know. For some reason, I never really got into using the actual avatars. I liked it when there was no people, when I was the only one. When I was the Lord of the Universe.
The Lord of the Universe. So you can build houses, give them jobs, get them lovers, make them pee. I have that written down here for some reason. Whatever you want. It's boring to me. I don't know why it's so ridiculously popular. I really don't, but I think it really appeals to more of the casual side of people.
Right.
It's installed on mobile phones now. Like, this game's everywhere. It's ridiculously successful to this day. And now they're releasing The Sims Medieval, right?
Yeah, that's
Medieval
right. We
Sims?
announced it.
Yeah.
We announced it last week.
We announced
Sims
it.
Medieval.
We did that.
Yes, we did.
We broke the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, not really.
You heard it here. You heard it here recently.
Probably not first.
And
but
probably
recently.
yes. And no, I know PC Nerd 37 says Warcraft was not the first RTS game. I know it wasn't the first one by Blizzard. So World of Warcraft. is our #1 most successful game of all
Woot,
time.
woot.
It is not the highest selling game of all time, but it is the biggest cash cow in history. I'm pretty sure it makes almost as much money as the entire Xbox unit of Microsoft.
Well, we were talking about the lawsuit story, $100 million a month in sales and subscription fees.
That is ridiculous. That's just a cash cow. That's insane. It stole almost a year of my life and probably 2 years of my brother's life. Other companies have tried to replicate it, but there is just nothing to compare this thing to. It's got, what, 11 million users now and holding strong. $15 a month for each one of them, like 100 million a month. Ugh. Yep, it's crazy. The #1 most successful game of all time. If you agree or disagree, send me an email, michael@thisweekend.com. I really do want to hear your qualms. Be angry at me, it's cool. Or give us suggestions for more top 5s, because there's plenty left to do. So
Absolutely.
Please do that. Yeah.
Lots of top 5s to come. But for now, we're going back to our second part of our news segment. We got some more video game news for you guys out there. First up, Fear 3 has been delayed until 2011. Well, one of the reasons Warner Brother is, well, they're not saying, but I'm speculating why the reasons it's being delayed is because primary development is now being done by Day One Studios. We do have a Fear 3 announcement trailer that I'm going to go ahead and actually play right here.
Expecting again. Brother is killing again. All I want is for us to be together. It's not every day we get to meet a new member of the family.
That game is a B-movie trailer, first of all. It reminds me of Saw, where they keep like inventing new ways of reviving him every iteration.
Yeah, it was interesting that, you know, obviously you guys saw that the majority of it was live action, probably because they don't have a lot of game footage that they're ready to release yet. Yeah. Someone in the chat room had asked about Monolith. No, Monolith Productions has officially passed the torch on to Day One Studios per Warner Brothers. I think they just decided that, hey, you know, we're done with the Fear series, so if someone wants to keep continuing to develop it, we're gonna let them do it. Of course, it's going to be the third full-fledged installment of this survival horror first-person shooter series, which began back in 2005. You're going to be able to play a new divergent co-op mode. Whoa. We can assume the role of one of the two characters, the genetically engineered super soldier who appeared in the first Fear, or his brother who has the telekinetic powers. Very exciting. So 2011, so you have lots of time to put your money away.
Pass. Okay,
All right then.
Sorry, that's my conclusion. So the Xbox 360 for the first time, I think in its 6-year history, was the #1 console in July, and that's actually significant because the sales boost experienced by both the PS3 Slim and the new Xbox 360 was in June around the same time of both years, and the DS still beat them. But instead of waning in sales and people kind of stopping buying it, It actually beat the DS, the Nintendo DS, which is rarely beaten by anything. We usually talk about like, oh, the Wii's #1 this week. Oh no, wait, the Wii's #1 except for handheld units, and the DS is still #1. But yeah, the Xbox 360 sold 443.5 thousand?
You're like,
443.5 thousand units. And the DS sold 398.4 thousand units. What do you think about this? Significant? Not?
Well, I think it's significant for Microsoft because they've been behind Nintendo for so long when it comes to hardware sales.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I mean, maybe I'm personally biased, but I think Xbox content for downloadable content blows everybody else out of the water. But when it comes to hardware, where the real, I think, money making is.
You're not biased. You have a PS3. That's just your opinion.
I have a PS3 and a Wii.
Yeah.
I have both. I'm an equal opportunity console girl.
There you go. That sounds fair.
But I think it's good. This is good for Microsoft, and I think that they need this push, especially since they have Kinect coming out, and that's a lot of pressure to perform. So this is like a ego boost for them to be like, hey, look at us. We outsold everyone. We can do this. We can push with Kinect.
I mean, it's 1 month, right? They're not going to beat Nintendo. They're not even going to come close. But it kind of further solidifies them as the #2. And PS3's got to sell a lot of moves this holiday season, really.
Yes.
Stay relevant.
Exactly, indeed. All right, our next story, you guys. Red Faction Battlegrounds has been announced for PS3 and Xbox 360. Now, this is a companion product to Red Faction Armageddon, which we talked about a couple episodes ago. And we do have another announcement trailer for Red Faction Battlegrounds, so let's go ahead and roll that right now.
Our grandfathers fought to free Mars. Our fathers fought to keep it. Why do I fight? Well, maybe I just like to blow up.
Awesome. So I think it's funny that he's like, I just like to bloat.
And then it's beeped out. That's
exactly, because we can't swear on the show, as I've been told multiple times. This is a vehicle combat game and it is downloadable content. Like I said, it is a companion product. What's kind of cool about this game, if you guys are Red Faction fans, is that this game, Red Faction Battlegrounds, will have achievements that you can earn that will unlock features in Red Faction Armageddon.
Whoa.
So if you are planning on buying Red Faction Armageddon, you definitely should get Red Faction Battlegrounds.
There you go.
Yes.
There it is.
Indeed.
So going along with what I said earlier about StarCraft and its map editor, StarCraft 2's new map editor, someone has gone ahead and created a third-person map using the map editor. It looks a lot like Gears of War. Let's roll the footage. So the robust map editor allows you to do a bunch of crazy customizations. Another thing that came out of Warcraft 3's was DOTA, Defense of the Ancients. Those were a lot of games that people played where you would pick a hero and you would level him up all the way to like level 60. I honestly think Blizzard took notice of that, and that's how that's another way that World of Warcraft was born, from Warcraft 3's map editor, and people always creating these heroes that they could level up. So I'm really excited about what StarCraft 2 is going to spawn, because this looks like a full-fledged game. It's crazy. You can aim at these baddies and like shoot them in Gears of War 3 style, and the graphics, you probably can't see in that clip, but they're really, really good. They look like an Unreal 3 engine game on Xbox 360 or PS3. It's crazy.
Just one more notch in the belt for Blizzard.
Blizzard is ridiculous. If you didn't notice, oh yeah, I didn't say this earlier, they got like 3 of the top 5 most successful games of the last decade.
For PC, yeah.
They're single-handedly lifting up the PC world. I know a lot of people aren't going to like me saying that, but it's really true. If Blizzard weren't around, more of the development would ship to consoles, but because they know that there are a bunch of huge games coming out from Blizzard that are going to make a lot of money, people keep playing with PC games, and there are other developers that kind of ride their coattails, and they enable them.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think it's not even necessarily that they make the best games, but they do make obviously fantastic
successful
games. But I mean, they make PC gaming relevant in 2010.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Whereas
it's crazy.
Whereas there are a lot of people out there who are maybe console-only gamers who don't do any PC gaming that know about StarCraft, that maybe didn't know about, Warcraft or World of Warcraft, who never played those games. I'm talking about younger people,
Okay,
you know,
okay,
who are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love my Wii. What's a PlayStation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
No? Am I off base?
No, I
Okay.
agree with you. I don't know about the World of Warcraft, not knowing about that, but you know, other games, like maybe somebody doesn't know what Warhammer is at all, right? But
Right.
once they play World of Warcraft, they're like, oh, there's a Warhammer online MMO, and I get to be a space marine with a crazy hammer, you know?
Right, exactly.
It's a gateway drug. Blizzard games are a gateway drug to the rest of the PC gaming world.
That's an interesting statement.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and agree with you there.
I do think the PC gaming world is superior in the sense that you can use a mouse and keyboard. That's just the best control scheme. Gives you the best control. So there's an admission to PC Nerd, who's I'm sure is like fuming in there. PC gaming is not dying.
We'll see.
We're laughing with you.
All right, we're going to have a really brief announcement, and then we have one more story before we get to our bonus points segment.
Yeah.
Stalker 2 has been announced. We're going to roll some video of Stalker Call of Pripyat. I don't know exactly how you say that. My bad. That was my bad. In a brief statement on its website, SC Game World announced Stalker 2, the sequel to Stalker Call of Pripyat. It has no subtitle yet, but it will be out in 2012 if the world doesn't end.
Yes, that's right. 2012.
SC Game World promises a completely new multi-platform technology that will make up the core of this game. After the official sales of the series exceeded 4 million copies worldwide, representatives said, we have no doubts left as to start creating a new big game in the Stalker universe. So this will be obviously the next chapter of the original. So
I love the original.
yeah, it's kind of cool if you're a Stalker fan. That sounds kind of weird.
I love that it takes place in.
If you're not a stalker, but you like to play Stalker,
yeah.
they have a new game coming out in 2012.
I like that the original takes place in post-apocalyptic Russia, near Chernobyl, where there are a bunch of mutants. It's pretty cool.
Yes,
I'll play it.
Indeed.
And I like that you kind of level up. It was like a hybrid RPG, open world thing. And then Fallout 3 came out, and I was like, oh wait, that's better. Now there's like tons of them. Rage is coming out.
Which I'm so excited for.
Yeah, all these post-apocalyptic games. So okay, we're going to talk about Bioshock Infinite. Let's roll that footage and I'll talk over it. Bioshock Infinite was revealed recently, and it's a sequel supposedly to Bioshock. A lot of people have been like, well, there's no connection. How is it a sequel? Fortunately, Ken Levine, the creator, whose studio turned down Bioshock 2 after doing Bioshock and went on the 3-year hiatus to develop this game, explains to us. He says, it's set in a place that's both completely strange and fantastical, but also strangely grounded and strangely familiar and believable. So the first two locations, or the first two Bioshocks took place in Rapture, the failed underwater city experiment. And Infinite's location is the floating city of Columbia, circa 1912. And it's populated by proud Americans who view their country as technologically great, ascendant, Caucasian-led, God-fearing society. He says it's fantastical but strangely familiar. So he said to do another game that felt like but wasn't called Bioshock game would seem dishonest. So the second reason that it's a Bioshock game, besides sharing a similar socio-political setting, is the other thing is that when you deal with enemies, you have a huge amount of expressibility in how you approach a problem set. How I want to play the game is very different from how you're going to play the game. This other quality is apparently a Bioshock hallmark. So each enemy encounter in the first two games could be handled in a variety of methods. You could, and this was a lot of what's fun about it. You could shoot, hack, stealth, or use offensive plasmids, like magic powers kind of things. Deputize robots, confuse enemies, cause them to turn on each other, springs traps, so on. So he says that a lot of the way you play the gameplay, and a similar setting is what makes it a sequel, but there's supposedly no real correlation between the first two Bioshocks and this one. What do you think about that? Is it a direct sequel?
Well,
it just shares the name so far.
I would say it's an installment. I wouldn't call it a sequel. I mean, if the storyline is set in a completely different place,
installment, nice. I like that.
And it's a completely different set of characters, then you can't really call it a sequel. But if the gameplay is similar, if the mechanics of the game are similar, and the way that you interact with the other characters are all kind of the same, then I would say, yeah, it's part of a series. As I said, an installment, but
like
not
Final
a sequel.
Fantasy.
Right,
Final
exactly,
Fantasies are not
exactly.
sequels; they're installments.
Right, precisely.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's addressing the confusion of people that it is a sequel, and I don't know why he's defending that it's a sequel, because you're right, it's really not. It's a game set in a similar universe with similar themes and similar gameplay mechanics, which is exactly what Final Fantasy does. That's all there is to say about that.
End of story.
End of story. Okay, now we are going to get to our bonus points segment. This is where Derek, our producer, grills us grills us, and this time I promise it's not going to be rigged. Or
It
if it is,
wasn't
I'm gonna,
rigged
yeah,
last
whatever,
time.
whatever.
Here is Derek, our awesome producer.
Hello,
He's-
boys
shirts.
and girls. Hello. You like my shirt?
I do.
It's
Yes.
very
I do.
nice.
Hospitality.
Sit down.
Hospitality.
Dine together.
I tried to be very nice to
Yeah.
everybody.
It makes me want to play Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time.
soon.
Ooh,
maybe-
we should
maybe.
play that. We should play a fighting
Showdown
game.
next time?
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be fun.
Let's start the game.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
This is bonus points.
Yes. Thank you.
What-
It's not suspenseful, but that's fine.
What hip-hop puppy starred in the first PlayStation game to give players credit for just keeping the beat?
I have no idea.
I know what it is. No, it's
Hip-hop puppy, PlayStation, keeping the beat.
what was the first one?
What hip-hop puppy
Yeah.
starred in the first
No, I mean, what are the
PlayStation
three
game?
options? Sorry.
There's no options.
Oh,
So we'll
it's
pass.
Just guess.
It's like bebop doobop. I forget his name. Pop rapper. Pop the rapper.
I'll give it to you.
Oh.
I'll give it to you.
Parappa the rapper. Thank you.
There you go.
Parappa the rapper. Dang it.
All right.
No, you're
Thank you.
cheating. You're looking at the chat room.
I didn't see that. I
All
didn't
right.
see that. That
All
didn't come up.
Okay.
What color are the letters on Donkey Kong's tie?
Yellow.
Red.
Yellow.
Damn it!
That one's true.
What year did the original Nintendo become available in the U.S.?
1990.
No.
1985.
Yes.
Oh wow. Wow.
Ah.
Okay. Let's bring down the music for a second.
Oh.
We're gonna do
getting serious.
name this video game. Name this tune. Ready? Go.
Mario 2.
Ah. All right. All right. This one.
Okay.
Worth 5 points.
Okay.
Oh,
Worth 5 points.
Whatever. It's gonna be like, what's Andrea's middle name?
You know this.
Everyone knows this.
Okay.
Samus Aran, militant female, or confused man?
Militant female.
Winner. Right
You
here.
didn't know that? Come on.
Winner.
I didn't even have a chance to open my mouth.
He did not give you the chance.
Well, whatever. Are we supposed to buzz in or something? I'm sorry.
Yes, we're gonna get a buzzer next
Michael
time.
wins.
All right, Michael wins.
A little bit of redemption. Thank you, sir.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Derek.
Derek.
That rocked.
Awesome.
1985. You knew that. Wow.
Yes, I do know some random facts about video games. This is true.
I was barely alive in 1985. I don't remember when I got my first Nintendo, but it was early. It was
Yes,
early.
Indeed.
It's when I fell in love with Mario.
Well, it's interesting because 1985 was also the year that the original what was the one other one I did? Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart.
Oh, Sega Master System.
No, Russian Attack. My
Oh,
Konami
yeah,
feature that we
right,
did last week.
right.
Russian Attack came out in 1985, the original.
Never played it.
Cold War, you know? Russian
I-
Attack. Get it?
Yes.
Anyway, we gotta go, you guys.
Yes. Next week we have another showdown. We have a special interview that we got with a professional gamer. We're gonna I'm gonna walk through behind the scenes and see his finger stretching routine and interview him. Apparently he's one of the top gamers in the world. His nickname is Walshy, so I'm excited about that. We'll get that all cut together for next Thursday. We've also got an interview with my good friend Caton from Sony. He was in charge of the beginning and end portions of God of War 3 and really a huge influence on the art style. This guy is the most ridiculously talented artist I've ever met. You give him a lump of clay, he'll do a crazy 3D model of an awesome comic book character. Give him a pen, he'll just draw this thing. You're like, what? That's amazing. How do you do that? He's awesome. So we're gonna have him on. We're gonna interview him, and we might even have another top 5. You'll just have to tune in and check it out.
Exactly. Yeah. And don't forget, you guys, we want your gamer submissions. If you have video game reviews that you have done and you would like us to show on This Week in Video Games, please email us at videogames@thisweekend.com. We're also looking for more live gamers for the showdown, so email us your gamer tags or Nintendo friend codes so that we can hook you up so you can play with us on the showdown. You can find me, Andrea Renee, at Twitter @Andrea Renee, on Facebook.com/Andrea Renee, or at AndreaRenee.com. Plus, I have to give a shout out to Gazelle.com.
Yeah.
We talked about them earlier on in the show. If you guys have old gadgets, cameras, computers, old consoles,
there it is. Look at
anything that's electronic, cell phones, movies, video games, you can sell them and get cash in your pocket. So
Cash
be sure
money
to check it out
or just
and
cash?
use Cash Money Millionaire.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
Our promo code is TWI5. It gets you an extra 5% bonus on your cash back.
Also, my name is Michael Ludden. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_Ludden, Ludden, as in Nancy. It's important. Or on YouTube at Ludden Media, one word. And you can find us at TWI Video Games or hashtag TWIBG on Twitter. Definitely drop us a line. You can email us at videogames@thisweekend.com. Thanks to the following websites: The Bitbag, Destructoid, Gamasutra, Kotaku, Joystick, Max Console, IGN Game Trailers, G4 TV, GamePro, and Gazelle.com. Cash money, yo. If you want to sponsor the show, give us a shout out. We're always looking for more sponsors. Sponsors are great.
We love sponsors.
We talk up sponsors.
And you know who else we love? Asha, and This Week in Music.
Good call.
Yes.
Good call. This Week in Music is coming up in a half an hour, so stay tuned. But right now, it's game over.